Last week, a study came out at MSU telling us what we all already knew, that the board is a dysfunctional mess. And with recommendations to remove and/or reprimand 3 of the members, we should all be asking questions. How did this happen? Whose fault is it? And what can we do about it? Well, the how and the who questions are tied together, and the answers aren't simple. We can't really just blame one person or group. We could try to lay the blame on our parties, because the parties are the ones who picked these people at their conventions. But parties do what parties do. This is the nature of the political parties, to try to pick candidates who can win. And the incentive to just choose whoever throws the best tailgate parties at homecoming is strong. The incentive to pick somebody who can fund their own campaign, or has great name ID, or a great story about their time at the university, or just has some great connections from their time in the fraternity, incentivizes the parties to choose those individuals. And they aren't necessarily the best options to run our universities, as has been played out again and again. Both parties are trapped in this mess and aren't showing any sign of changing. We can't blame the people of Michigan, because it's the parties who are nominating the candidates for them. So they don't have any options. If they are even fortunate enough to know who the individual is, they don't have much options except whatever the 2 parties toss up there. This study has cost taxpayers over $500,000. Over $500,000 spent just to know that the board's dysfunctional, because we weren't sure. And we have the same issues at times with our other 2 universities that go through the same process to appoint their boards. Wayne State's dysfunction a few years ago, where members were suing each other. They couldn't even make a decision on what to do next because they were tied and they were suing each other. And U of M has a long, troubled past of problems, of lack of transparency. Fortunately, it seems to be doing better right now. Winning always helps. But we can do a lot better. These 3 universities should be noted as the outliers in the country for how their governance boards come about. It's not the way it's done anywhere else. They're usually appointed process, as are the other 12 universities in our state, which all have far more stability and robust boards with people who are dedicated, not just dedicated, but are proficient managers of the enterprise. U of M and MSU are 2 of our largest economic drivers in this state. They have a long, storied past, something that we should be incredibly proud of, something those of us in the agricultural industry depend on, something those in the law and the engineering industries and the medical professions depend on. It's time to consider putting these 3 universities into the same system that our other 12 are, and that the rest of the country is. And that's what Senate Joint Resolution E sets out to do, and change the way that these boards come about and how they function, and to end this cyclic indignity and disrepute that Michigan is suffering through with these boards that are not working, boards that are disgracing us, and boards that are costing us money for investigations into their own hubris. I encourage you all to consider supporting Senate Joint Resolution E, and let's get that on the ballot and before the voters this November. Thank you, Madam President.